diploma.
The story of Professor Wangari Maathai reads almost like fiction. How could one woman have stirred so much controversy, braved so much brutality, and yet still accomplished so much? Educated in the United States under the 1960s Kennedy airlifts and later in Germany, Professor Maathai returned to Kenya in 1969, where she joined the University of Nairobi as an assistant lecturer while still pursuing her studies. In 1971, she became the first woman in Eastern and Central Africa to earn a doctorate, and later in 1974 was the first woman to head a department at the university and become an associate professor. Her clamor for a greener country, a greener continent, and a greener world saw her challenge the powers that be at different points in time. She founded the Green Belt movement in the mid-70s. The organization did not only deal with environmental issues as tree planting. In the late 80s, the Green Belt movement carried out pro-democracy activities such as registering voters and pressing for constitutional reform and freedom of expression. But the true test for Maathai came in 1989 when the then government planned to build a 60-story Kenya Times Media Trust complex at Uhuru Park. Maathai wrote protest letters to different government and UN offices as well as the British High Commissioner. When the letters failed to block the skyscraper plan, Maathai went on to court to challenge the construction, again in vain. The media attention her protests drew led the foreign investors to cancel the plan in 1990. At the peak of the clamor for multi-party democracy in 1992, Wangari Maathai made headlines again when she barricaded herself in her house, fearing an assassination plot. Police surrounded her house for 3 days before cutting through bars she had installed on her windows and arresting her. She was later released on bail after a hearing. It was then that Maathai used her momentary freedom to lead mothers of political prisoners in a hunger strike at a corner in Uhuru Park, which they later labeled Freedom Corner. The protest continued on and off until the prisoners were released in 1993. Her political star did not shine as bright. After several failed attempts to vie for parliamentary and one-time presidential positions, in 2002 she won the Tetu constituency election on a NAC ticket with 98% of the votes.
Mimi, Wangari Maathai.
Later in 2003, she was appointed Assistant Minister for Environment, even though many expected she would be given a full ministerial position. She failed to recapture the Tetu seat in 2007. Nonetheless, Professor Wangari Maathai is a celebrated icon the world over. She's decorated with over 50 reputable international awards, including the Nobel Peace Prize in 2004, the Earth Hall of Fame in 2009 and 2010, and being voted among the 100 most influential persons in the world by the Time and Forbes magazines. Locally, she was awarded Elder of the Golden Heart, Elder of the Burning Spear, and Milele Achievement Award. May she rest in peace. Soy-mwendia, KTN Live at 1.